Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Who's Your Crypto Guy. It's been a while, but I'm back and better than ever. If it were possible, it would be true. But anyway, so what we're talking about today, as you can see on this lovely chart here, is the global M2 money supply. And what you can see is the Bitcoin price and the global money supply are offset by about 90 days. Meaning, if you follow the global money supply and what it does, Bitcoin will follow this most of the time. Now, it's about 80% or so, but if you just look at the Bitcoin chart, which is the colored red and green lines, and then you got the global money supply in yellow, which also coordinates with gold, interestingly enough, you will see that we are 90 days away from a potential high. So according to the global money supply right now, over the next 90 days, Bitcoin could go a lot higher. We're talking the first surge looks like up to 130,000 with a pullback to about 120 and then a surge over 140, another pullback to 130. Now, it doesn't have to exactly do this because it doesn't always follow it exactly, but over the long term, like the next 90 days, and what's also interesting is the Pi cycle top indicator also kind of coordinates with this. Bitcoin could be around $170,000. Not financial advice, but now may be a time to start paying attention, especially if not Bitcoin, maybe some of the altcoins, but we'll talk about that. So next you can see we closed the highest monthly candle in history. That's right. This last monthly close was the highest in history at about 104,000. So just more momentum building up. And here's another view of that very same chart. These are all monthly closes. You can see we've been trending up. We found our high back in earlier this year, came down, tested it at about 74,000, found a low, and for the last couple of months, we've been trending up. Now, what I think is over the next June, July, and August, will be a general uptrending market as well with a pullback in September. Usually a good time to buy, not in financial advice once again, but I've noticed after watching the market since 2018, a good time to buy is typically after September 11. People tend to freak out because of September 11, and September's typically a down month anyway. That could be the final pullback before the final run up to what I believe could be the top in October of this year. The next chart you can see is the Bitcoin whale holdings and their monthly percentage change. So what you can see is over time, these whales are just continuing to buy, and they're buying more and more and more. Even though the price is now gone as high as 112,000, the whales are just soaking it up. The fear and greed index is neutral, so could go either way. They say to buy when others are fearful and sell when others are greedy. But right now, we just kind of hold because, or you get in because you haven't got any. And altcoins have been kind of beat up recently as well. Here's the Bitcoin versus the US dollar. And as you can see in this rainbow run, it tends to run to the top of the rainbow, looking back here at 2013, pulls back to the bottom of the rainbow, kind of gets in that purple zone, blue-purple, rides it along until the next run, and then it'll run back towards the red, and then it'll come back down, retest the purple and blue. We had the top in 2021, just slightly lower. That's another thing that happens each time. The top tends to be a little lower on the color chart. So last time we were in the almost to the orange, we could drop down another level into the top of the yellow band. by the end of 2025, because I think the Bitcoin top, they're saying 250, but that could be later on down the road, because I think for 2025 our top is going to occur somewhere between 150 and 175. And like I said, the pi cycle top indicator and the global 2 money supply are starting to show that that could very well be the case, because global 2 money supply projecting 170 at this point, pi cycle top projecting 162. So here's another thing for the total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. There was a golden cross back in 2021, and then after that golden cross, boom, a absolute major run up over like a 6-month period. Could we be entering upon that golden cross again? We've already had the golden cross and we've started a run up. We will see what happens through the rest of this year, but looking pretty good. Bitcoin versus inflation. You know, in 2020, if you would have had $100 in Bitcoin, or $100 in just $100 was worth that as 2020. In 2025, that same $100 is only worth $76. And that's because of inflation. However, if you would have had that $100 in Bitcoin in 2020 at the right time, and now 2025, that same $100 is now worth $1,201. In 2013, you can see we've had these different patterns where it'll form this cup and handle, it breaks out in the green square rectangle and goes to the top, and then it forms another cup and handle, breaks out in the green rectangle, goes to the top, creates another cup and handle, breaks out in the green rectangle, another big cup and handle. Now all we're waiting for, the parabolic phase to the top of this green rectangular box, which once again I think is around 175,000. So, Bitcoin, to review, has no founder. Bitcoin has no ruling foundation. Bitcoin has no pre-mine. Some coins have pre-mines. Bitcoin has no insiders, no insider trading. It's fair for everybody. Bitcoin, no initial investors. No front office, no website, no executive team, no marketing team, no paid development team, no starting price, no human controlling it. It's the fairest money on earth. Right now, it's a really great store of value, especially over the long term. Here it is, the chart we were talking about, and that is the pi cycle top indicator. As you can see, we got up to our high of about 108,000 at the beginning of the year, and then we crossed down and broke down all the way down to the lower point of about 74,000, where it started trending back up since then. And this is, I believe, a weekly chart. Yes, it is. And so you can see for the past few weeks, we've had a lot of green. With the last couple of weeks, a little bit of a pullback after reaching our high of 112,000. I think we're just retesting the previous highs over here. As you can look back and see where the line is at 103, we're just retesting that round 100K mark, seeing if that will create new support. And then as you can see, our Bitcoin pi cycle top indicator is now sitting at 162,804, and the bottom is at 92,260. So once again, when the yellow line gets above the green line, it is time to sell. That's all I got for you today. Now, what we can talk about is also altcoins. So if you're interested in altcoins, there is a lot of activity recently for altcoins. See, Bitcoin currently is 104,371. Our SPY is sitting at 591.46. Pretty coordinated with the stock market, but right now, like I said, we're getting that pullback. Coins to watch: Solana 154, Litecoin 88.97. Chainlink, 13.79. Filecoin, one of my favorites, 256. XRP, 217. Cardano, ADA, 67 cents. CRV, also 67 cents. Those two coins are also some of my favorites. HBAR is one of my new ones I have a little bit in. The Graph, 0.0955. This coin last time topped out all close to $3. Pretty good time to buy, I'd say. VChain, 2.4 cents, topped out at 28 cents last time. Gala Games, another one I'm interested in. 1.6 cents, topped out at 83 cents last time. Floki, also another one of my favorites. You can get this one on Coinbase. 84825. Just changed to 84838. So you can see this is live numbers here. Pepe, 1190, 4 zeros. And that, folks, are some of my favorite altcoins to look into. But you can do your own research and see what you can do. But for now, that's the update for June the 2nd, 2025. And I know maybe you're not all following for sports or whatever, but shout out to the Indiana Pacers for making the NBA Finals. Woohoo! Catch you next time. Later.